Namaskar. Hello and welcome to PGurus channel. I'm your host Sree Iyer. Joining me today is Sumit as we take a look at what is happening in Pakistan and many other geopolitical hotspots. Let's welcome Sumit. Sumit, Namaskar. Ram Ram, Radhe Radhe. How are you?
Jai Siya Ram, Radhe Radhe, all Kushal and Mangal se Brakat Hussian Obama your Ashirwad. Namaskaram to you and thank you for having me on the show.
A small request to all of you to please like this video. We have a lot of videos to share with you, especially in and around Pakistan, as this country is combusting all on its own. And do please like this video, as we had scoured for hours to get you footage that is meaningful, correct, and will not be censored for, it will not blow back on us for showing something that is too graphical. Over to Sumit. Sumit, talk to us about what happened in the latest 20 people plus killed in Pakistan army, sir.
Sir, in the name of Bhagwan Sree Ganesha, let's do the Sree Ganesha of today's vlog. Well, it's not a good piece of news on the onset, because any loss of human life is not appreciated and should not have happened in an ideal world. But unfortunately, what we are coming to know is that in Quetta, there was a train bound for Peshawar. The name of the train is Jafar Express. It is believed now the train was carrying civilians and it was carrying a lot of army recruits. The people who are going to under army, training and coaching, they were going back to their homes or wherever. Now there's a very powerful explosion which happens there. Now officially we know at least 22 people have lost their lives. Most of them are these in training or in graduation army recruits, and some civilians have also lost their lives. And now as the things start coming in right, left and center, now today what I can tell you, I think what it is getting reflected over the social media and all, unfortunately 44 people are dead and more than 100 are injured, and 20 of the injured are believed to be critically injured. So the death toll might possibly go up. That is what we are learning, but this is all informal news. But at a formal level, the 101%, there are 22 dead and 24 dead and more than 40 to 60 injured. But today, if you look at a practical sense, we are talking of at least 44 dead, we are talking of 100 plus injured. And out of those 100, 20 are critically injured. So the death toll might go up. Most of the people who are killed are these Pakistani army recruits. And unfortunately, some civilians became the eventual casualty of the disaster. Now, who takes the responsibility? Now, the responsibility is taken by BLA. The Baloch Liberation Army. In BLA, there is this Majid Brigade. Majid Brigade has taken the responsibility. It is believed to be a suicide attack, a fedayeen attack, wherein somebody goes and blows himself up. The target was not civilians. The target was not the train. The target was not the general public. The target was those army recruits which were getting trained and going possibly back to Peshawar or wherever. So that is, and exactly the fedayeen attack happened near the wagon where the concentration of these army recruits is believed to be the highest. But if you look at the quantum of the explosions, it is but natural. There are some people who will unfortunately get caught up into this. And nobody likes civilians or anybody to lose his life, but this is how Pakistan works. Now, if you look at the recent past, the number of incidents are increasing in Pakistan. Things are getting out of control in Pakistan. We have a small video which we want to show you just before the blast. Look at this.
कैमरा 1 मेगापिक्सल में जो कोई साफ होता रिजल्ट लगाता ही नहीं.
So this is exactly, I think what we are showing on PGurus is exclusive. It's exactly second before the blast happened. The CCTV cameras captured it. And BLA has said that, as per the BLA spokesperson, it's a fedayeen attack. And again, we were trying to avenge the Pakistan army because they're operational force. We had nothing to do with the civilians, but if some civilian casualties have happened, it's very unfortunate and it should not have happened. So Pakistan is on boil, and let me remind you, this is the same place where Iranian foreign minister was there 2 days back. I don't know, is he there or has he left? What was his agenda? What was his mission? Nobody knows. And it is the same place where Asim Munir was not allowed to enter that meeting hall, which later he was. So there's a lot happening and cooking in Pakistan. BLA getting activated is a serious threat. Pakistani army attacks every day have happened. Even yesterday there were attacks with TTP. Day before yesterday have been attacks. Now if we look at the current trend, what is happening in Pakistan, every day there are attacks. 3, 4, 5, 6, 3, 4, 5, 6 people are getting killed every day, when most of them are army. And only when there's a bigger attack like this, it kind of starts hitting the international media, and right, it all starts hitting the international media and all. Otherwise, these 4 deaths, that 6 deaths, they're happening every day in Pakistan. The moot point is, Sree sir, Pakistan is losing it out. Pakistan's army is losing it out. ISI is losing it out. They were, what I said, they were completing their training and they were going possibly to their stations, to their home, because there was an infantry school nearby where the training happened. Now these people are getting killed. Now the turmoil in Pakistan is that the skilled workers are leaving Pakistan. The inflation is off the roof. IMF money is not going to get easy. Terror financiers, sympathizers are working. For the first time, I am seeing army is losing control. For the first time, I am seeing there are more casualties on army than the civilians. If you look at the Pakistan, traditionally, there have been more casualties on civilians than the army. But this time, the army is taking the maximum brunt of casualties. Balochis are very active. In Sindhu, they show protests. And in KPK and all, there's TTP, which has literally taken control over Pakistan. So if I look at Gwadar, if I look at Balochistan and KPK, here BLA and their TTP are literally in control. They're calling the shots. And let me remind you, the one who can't and other things, they're literally, the Pakistan army is holding them by threats. They've literally lost all the control, what was required for them to hold on to it. And in Sindhu, they're getting activated. The situation in Lahore is not good, because we have seen that Asim Munir was, there were people who were trying to keep him out of the meeting with Abbasi. Now, what was happening in the meeting, that is for Asim Munir to contemplate. And so things are pretty bad. I mean, this is a very big attack, what we have seen. And we don't know, tomorrow we might have another one, day after that, we might have another one. The things in Pakistan are getting to a stage where I have been talking and stretching my neck out in a quarter or two. That is, we are in November, December, January, February, March. Within that time frame, you will see visible cracks of Pakistan breaking up. You will see visible cracks of things breaking up, because now Pakistani army is neither able to control TTP, is neither able to control BLA, is never able to control Majid Brigade or any of these Sindhu Desh, warring factions. They are able to control nothing. Then they are taking the maximum casualties, which is a sign of systematic erosion of the control or the stranglehold which Pakistani army had on Pakistan, and the disruption of Pakistan, balkanization of Pakistan, which is almost on the cards. And now Pakistan is trying to flirt with Iran. Pakistan is trying to play games with Lashkar-e-Islam, the Lashkar-e-Jangvi, and they are trying to get their hands dirty in Balochistan. They are trying to have their influence in Balochistan, in Iran. They have been involved in killing the IRGC generals. So it's a madhouse, sir. Everybody is trying to kill everybody, and everybody seems to has an affinity with somebody, and everybody has a reason to kill everybody else. No, it's as bad as it can get. Now, there's one important point here. You will see radio silence from Pakistani politicians. You will see radio silence from our Pakistani army, ISI. The question which I want to ask through PGurus, where is the ISI? Where is the Pakistani intelligence? You are getting hunted like ducks, and you seem to have no head and tail of this. Though our heart goes out for the innocent people who lost their lives, but men flock to go there morning with the family members, doubt whether they will come back home. And yeah, this is what is happening there. Now, Neeraji, the problem here is, this was always happening in Pakistan. But if you see the quantum now, I mean, just look at last few episodes of PGurus on Pakistan. Last 2-3 months, the quantum is significantly high. It is highest in the history of Pakistan. Pakistan is losing more soldiers in peacetime than any wartime. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, Sumit ji. I just wanted to ask you, where in the world is Nadeem Anjum?
I think he must be in Canada, or he must be trying to get himself entangled in US somewhere. I think, according to my sources, he's not in Pakistan. He's nowhere to be seen after the recruitment of the new ISI chief. And this new ISI chief doesn't seem to be very effective. Yes, there has been problems which have happened. I want to quickly cover them as well. If you see the number of encounters happening in J&K, they have increased. If you see now Chinese pistols, you have seen Romanian rifles, you have seen these Turkish pistols. The amount of foreign arsenal which is recovered from terrorists in Kashmir has gone up. Those steel bullets, those sophisticated rifles, and everything has gone up. Now they are even using some AI-based drones now, which are being used for the first time in Kashmir. They have gone up. The encounters has gone up. The insurgency has gone up. The law and order on our side of the things has kind of taken a beating, and it is all facilitated by ISI. There's no doubt on it. Now, what is worrying me is the use of those foreign weapons and the foreign elements. And I have no remorse in sharing this news, which is very unfortunate. We were very busy with the President Donald Trump for the last couple of days, the election in US and all. Sree sir, in Kashmir Assembly, 4 days back, somewhere when Trump got elected, the NC government of Umar Abdullah and Congress and some other parties put together has passed a resolution. It's not tabled it. They have passed it that they will restore 370, though it's not technically possible for them. It is, if they are even born next life, it won't happen. But the first thing which they are doing is they will restore Article 370 and 35A. Yesterday there was a big uproar in the J&K Assembly. This Rashid engineer's brother, what is his name? Some Sheikh. He's an MLA from Awami League MLA. He came with a plank of 370 and 35A Zindabad and all, where our friends from BJP got too much irritated and agitated, and there was a ruckus in the parliament. And what happened? Do you know what happened? These BJP chaps started saying Bharat Mata Ki Jai. And the NC speaker, the speaker is from NC. You know what did he decide to do? He asked the marshal to throw them out. So the reality remains that in Kashmir's assembly, if you say Bharat Mata Ki Jai, which is hail the mother god Bharat Mata, or the which is our mother country, you will be thrown out of the assembly. You will be thrown out. And believe it or not, it is Modi ji's party. And believe it or not, it is Modi ji in the power. And believe it or not, it is thousands and thousands of crores which has gone into Kashmir. And those decades of those failed attempts of winning hearts and minds. This is what is happening. So if we see on one hand, the ISI is failing in KPK, in Balochistan and in Sindh. But on the other hand, we see ISI is not failing so much on our side of the line. It's able to ferment enough trouble for us. And honestly, I could not fathom this thought. The first thing they wanted to do is to pass a resolution of restoring 35 and 370. Now, if this is what thousands of crores of aids have got you, and this is what decades of winning hearts and minds has got you, I have nothing to say, because my opinion was very clear. Nothing much. Don't expect to change. They are on the ground. So you have a point.
Yeah, a couple of things. Yesterday morning, we had a very detailed interview in Hindi with the former DGP of Jammu and Kashmir, SP 𝗚. Do watch that, viewers. Very, very detailed. The man is extremely well, he documents it very nicely how Jammu has become a little bit more vulnerable, why Kashmir looks a little bit better, but now everything is beginning to break up a little bit, the role of OGWs and so on and so forth. I urge all of you to watch it. The reason we say this thing is, yeah, we know we put 4 or 5 videos in a day. Perhaps you don't get enough time to see this thing, but there is a reason why we are doing that. We are giving you the most accurate, concise description of what is happening around the world. And that's why we keep telling you that, do watch this thing for context more than anything else. Also, I should remind viewers, when Colonel Ajay Raina was on our channel, he had told once how one of these separatists had said Pakistan Zindabad, and Bhim Singh of Panther Party took a chair inside the J&K Assembly, threw it at him. I mean, not Bharat Mata Ki Jai. These are Laton ke bhoot. You are going to be expelled anyway. Next time, BJP should reconsider its strategy. That's all I'm saying.
Sir, I want to make one point here. First of all, I know Mr. 𝗚, Dr. 𝗚 personally. He's a staunch patriot and a man of impeccable detail. So is Colonel Raina. And both of them. impeccable gentleman. And when it comes to those local affairs in the J&K, they have, because Colonel Rana served in RR and he's a soldier,
Yes.
and 𝗣𝗚𝗲 was heading the police. So even these are the people who have dealt it with every day with their hands. So they are not
Day
the
in and
people,
day out.
day in and day out. So they are the people who understand what they are doing, what they are talking. That's point number one. Second thing I want to say here, it was very appalling to me because I almost got very emotional when I see that saying Bharat Mata Ki Jai, the NC speaker throws you out of the assembly, gets marshals. He got marshals. They picked them up and throw them out of the assembly for saying, and these are BJP chaps, Modi ji chaps. Now, thank here Prime Minister Modi and Amit Shah, who did not restore the full statehood and did not give them the powers. Now, imagine the plight if they had full statehood restored and they had all the powers with them. I mean, they would have then passed a resolution that let's become a part of Pakistan. And don't mind me saying, sir, Shree sir, if full statehood and full powers are given to them, मैं कहता हूँ हिंदी में मैं नाक रगड़ूंगा. I'll come and get my head shaved if one day they will not pass the resolution, will be a part of Pakistan. Even that happens one day, don't be surprised. And I was talking to one of the very close persons to Mr. Jaitley, not Jaitley, Gadkari ji once. He told me, somebody told Saab ki you build a road here and they will vote for you and all. I told him, bhai, सोने की सड़क भी बनवाओगे ना तब भी वोट नहीं मिलेगा. Don't waste your time. Even if you make a सोने की सड़क, you will still not get the votes. This is the agony. This is the hearts and minds of people after so much what the BJP government led by Prime Minister Modi did for them, right? Bit different. 𝗣𝗚𝗂𝗏, he is the man who has done it. I mean, what do you say? He is the head of police, and I know the person very well, and I have greatest respect for Mr. 𝗼𝗚𝗏 and Colonel Rana. I mean, they're the people who fought. They're the people with the gun. We have never been there with a gun. They're the people with a gun there. So what are we talking here about? And these people are patriots. And they understand what is nationality. They understand what is Bharat Mata about. And unfortunately, such people are not given those, elite positions and postings, but they still did what they were best at. And PGurus as a platform is giving them all the space and all, which is great. So this is what is happening. This is a bit appalling. So if we see ISI failing on one side, coming back to our topic, we can see ISI not failing so much on the other side. So there are vulnerabilities which are increasing for us. And we need to be careful, sir. We need to be careful. It doesn't take a lot of work by these separatists and these secessionists and terrorists to undo all the good work what we have done for years. That is my limited point on that. Now let's move to the next topic. So this is about Pakistan, this is about Kashmir, this is about ISI, this is about Nadeem Anjum. Now, the important thing which has come to the light is what we have been always suspecting is that there was always a plan of Iran to assassinate President Trump, and some of the people who support Trump and some of the people who kind of oppose Iran. Now, there's a bit of a jigsaw puzzle here, which I'm going to reveal to you guys, and I don't have answers to a lot of things. But because I'm casting my own doubts to a lot of things. Now, what comes to know is that there is a person called Farhad Shakiri. Now, this Farhad Shakiri is an Afghan national. He had immigrated to US when he was a kid. Then in 2008 or 18, he got again deported because he was involved in drugs and all the crap and all the illegal stuff. Now, this Farhad Shakiri has served a lot of time in US jails. Now, when he got deported, this Farhad Shakiri is approached by IRGC, Islamic Revolutionary Guard of Iran, under Khomeini, direct under Khomeini, and he's told that we have a work for you. So what? You have to make a network of these criminals and all those nefarious elements in US, and we want to eliminate a few high-profile people. The list included President-elected Donald J. Trump. Yes, Mr. Trump was on the list, and there were two journalists which were told, and they were given a target 1, target 2, target 3. He was given a couple of targets, say, okay, do a recce and eliminate them. The list came to him on 7th October 2024. Now, why 7th October 2024? Because 7th October 2024 is exactly 1 year after the 7th October 2023 attacks happened. And minded gentlemen and ladies watching this, this was given by IRGC commander who directly reports to Khomeini. And on the behest of Khomeini, the list was passed to them. These are the 3 targets. One is believed to be a female journalist. They were trying to kind of do a recce of his house and all. Now he recruits two people. One is Christine Razwith and another is Jonathan Ledholt. These are again two criminals which he recruits, and the money, and then now this Farhad talks, Shakiri talks to the IRGC. We need a lot of money. You know what IRGC says? No problem, buddy. Money is not a problem. These two criminals were promised 100K, 100,000 for the elimination of the journalist. And, for the Trump, it was not known how much they were promised and all. But he was told on 7th October 2024, within 1 week, you have to eliminate Donald Trump. Now, the question here is, you have to eliminate Donald Trump, and what is the money and all? We don't know. Now, this guy suddenly started talking to FBI because there is some individual in the jail in United States. He's trying to negotiate with Department of Justice through FBI to reduce the sentence for that person. In the return of that, he's giving that information. Now, this is what we know about IRGC's involvement, though Iran's Ministry of External Affairs spokesperson has categorically denied that, but I don't buy even a dot of that, what they deny. They have been involved here. They are a part of it. I'll give you my side of story. I have a couple of questions to ask here. First thing is that FBI was in touch with this gentleman, this idiot, Farhad Shakir. Correct? Now the question is, why is it only today we come to know about this association? Why FBI did not disclose it about? Or you were waiting for the President Trump to get selected or elected? Then when you get elected, then you will talk about, oh, you see how hard we are trying to save you. That's point number one. Point number two, the boy who tried to kill the Trump, that young boy with the AR-72 rifle. Now the revelations are out that he had a lot of foreign accounts and there has been money which has come into those foreign accounts. Who sent money into those foreign accounts? That's the revelation question mark number two. Question mark number three. When this all was happening, was it Trump's and the Secret Services informed about it? Well, there is no information which suggests that they were kind of informed about it. Question number four, which is very, very important. In fact, I was talking to, I can't reveal the name right now, but in a couple of days I may be. I was talking to one of the top-notch guys who has run CIA a couple of days back. And I asked him about, what is happening here. And, in his opinion was, and he's a veteran, he has been in Afghanistan, he has been pretty much everywhere in the world. I can't reveal the name right now, but he was the person who was running CIA. He told me, look, it doesn't look like that what happened with the assassination of Trump was a standalone incident. His version is that the people have been shouting and telling the Secret Service there's somebody up on the roof. Usually when you cordon off the area, you make sure everything is cleaned up. So how come there was a rooftop and how come the person goes with a rifle and tries to take a shot? He says there were two local policemen who went to check the roof, and this guy, when he saw the police were propping and they saw a rifle, this guy in a very haste took the shot and the shot missed Trump. And then after the Secret Service comes and they're trying to neutralize the guy and all that. And even there's an allegation, the lady who was running the Secret Services or the FBI at that point of time, FBI, was chosen by Biden because the family likes the lady. That is what the person has to say. Now, with all these things coming up and with these revelations coming up only when you are selected and Secret Services taking the shot after the assassin has taken a couple of shots, which missed the Trump. Now, we have seen videos at the Trumps now, you have this new home which has been quite barricaded and there are those robot dogs and the security has been beefed up and all. I still have my apprehensions with the security of the President Donald J. Trump because of these incidents. I still believe there are people who are complicit or who are compromised, possibly. That is why these things happen. Three attacks on a president do not happen. And when I look at a terrorist like Pannu is very safe and Donald Trump is unsafe. I mean, this paradigm doesn't add up to me. I don't know how the hell does this happen. Now, there's another thing which has always stuck my mind. In my conversation, I asked that how come Anthony Blinken was wearing a bulletproof vest when he landed in Baghdad, a couple of months back, and I have brought it up in PGurus. How come he needs to wear a bulletproof? What the hell is wrong? He's the Secretary of State for United States of America. He's a big man. He's not an ordinary man like me. The gentleman was very clear. He says, Sumit, we killed Soleimani. And there are people, there are forces who have infiltrated US, who have infiltrated US security apparatus, and they want us to return in kind. That means there was always a news, a possibility, and strong possibility that somebody senior from US government can be assassinated. Now the question is, if Iran was involved then in assassination of, or tried, or there was a possibility Iran might assassinate Anthony Blinken, so today why there's a surprise that Iran was trying to assassinate Donald J. Trump? There should be no surprise at all, because they want to hit you back with Qasem Soleimani. Point number one. So if Anthony Blinken was wearing a bulletproof jacket and all and whatever, so was Donald J. Trump and his security people briefed about it? What was the extra steps you were trying to keep the president safe? But what happened with the guy with the AR-72 rifle doesn't look to match up. Point number three, which is very important here, is that there are people within Iraq, there are armed groups within Iraq, and the people have infiltrated the US security apparatus at various levels, and things can go wrong. So if things can go wrong, for the sake of God, anybody who's watching this anywhere in the world, can you answer my one question? Now I've given you two scenarios. Anthony Blinken can be assassinated. Donald Trump will be assassinated, and they tried to do it for both. One they did not try, one they tried. Now so this is known within the security apparatus of the United States of America. Why on earth, why the hell or high water did Joe Biden want to have a 21 days truce with Hamas and Hezbollah? When you know all this, when you know Hamas and Hezbollah are supported by Iran, when you know everything is there trying to assassinate your topmost people, including the president, why were you trying to give them time and energy to regroup? Why 21 days truce? Is it Obama who did this? Is it Brakat Hussian who wanted to give them the truce so that they can gang up? Now, what is Trump saying? Trump is saying, I'll cut their financial losses. I'll cut everything to do with it. I'll deport those jihadi students. We won't let jihadis in. I've seen the Trump's videos. Quite good. But when you know all this, why did you stop Iran? Why did you stop Israel from taking out their nuclear assets? When you knew all this, why did you want Iran to sign some kind of a shitty peace treaty with them? When you knew all this, what was the point of this 21-day ceasefire? You wanted Hamas and Hezbollah to regroup again to screw the whole world? That is what you wanted? This is exactly what you wanted. And who did it? Who was the architect of this? It was Barakat Hussian Obama. Obama wanted this in the back end. Now, if these are the kind of details which are coming up, and then when we look at what the Biden administration was doing, it was treason. Literally, you were trying to put American interest on a bazaar, and anybody can pick it up and throw it in the nearest dustbin. That is what was happening. Why this ceasefire was being attempted, and why you were trying? What was the talk of this arms embargo for Israel? What was this? Why did you protect Iran's oil, nuclear assets, and the power station, Joe Biden? Why did you do that? When you know this, now the revelations are out. When you know this is happening, your FBI must have informed you this. So why were you trying to protect Iran and Iran's interests? Who was directing you? What are your compulsions? Whom do you work for? These are some of the sensational things which the world must know and which have to be revealed to the world. This is not an allegation. It's a 𝗣𝗚𝘅. It's a Pandora's box which has come out. And on the top of that, still, when Israel retaliated, Anthony Blinken was on the ground to broker peace. What is Blinken trying to get the peace done? Mr. Blinken, you are yourself the target. Whom are you trying to protect yourself from? What is this Stockholm syndrome what you guys seem to be suffering from? And what has Trump said? Trump has said that I have given a green light to Israel, according to Pinaka, the ex-CIA director. He said, I have given a green light to, he will possibly give a green light to Israel and tell them do whatever it takes. And Trump was very clear. You have to take Iran's nuclear assets first. And let me tell you what happened when the Trump comes back into power. Now, tell me something. Money, organization, attempt to assassinate the President of the United States of America. If this is not a bloody act of war, what do you want? You want Khomeini to come and drop a bomb on Washington, D.C.? Then you will wake up. If this is not act of war, what the hell is act of war? What the hell is act of war? Can Obama still come and Joe Biden come? Why was he what in truce? And what was this agreement about? And what has Trump done? When Trump comes, 2-3 things happen. Qataris, who fund all the terror networks in the whole world. They find every terrorist in there. They fund every Islamic terror network in the whole world. They are the same Qataris. When Joe Biden was was controlling the things, they told him, look, Joe, you cannot park Abraham Lincoln here because we won't let you our soil to be used to have war on a friendly neighboring country, that is Iran. Then Lloyd Austin took a call and docked the ship. Aircraft carrier, what I mean. Same Qatar is today saying we are tired of this truce. We are tired of this truce. And Hamas leaders leave Qatar. Earlier, Hamas leaders were living in Qatar. Remember Ismail Haniya offering Namaz Shukrana when Jews were getting slaughtered on 7th October 2023? He was offering his prayers. Thank you. Come slaughter Jews. Now, same Qatar, forget docking. He's saying, Hamas, leave. There's no space for you in Qatar, right? All the Islamic countries who were going against, who were grouping behind Khomeini, all Islamic countries have started withdrawing their support to the Khomeini. They are all chickening out now. Because a green light to Israel, what does it mean? It means we'll beat the shit out of you. Khomeini remains isolated. And this is how the things change. This is how... And what did the President Trump said yesterday? What I liked. He said, these Hamas guys were, I told you on, I think we met last Thursday, that these Hamas guys are trying to do 𝗒𝙧𝙤𝘀𝘀. Oh, Mr. President, why don't you leave? Why don't you stop the war and all that shit? Trump told them, all the hostages have to return to home before I take the office. Else, you will pay a heavy price for it. No talking. No beating around the bush. Hostages should reach their homes before I resume the office. Because when I resume the office, the hell and Lucifer is going to set loose. Now you go and fight and you go and hide in the last rat hole you have. And by the way, Houthis have given up their weapons. They're not going to fight. So you see what is the impact Trump is getting the moment he hits. And this message of Trump, she said, that Israel is going to get a green light, has shattered the whole Middle East. Everybody is shaking. Everybody is literally shitting in their pants. And Trump is very clear. Jews will be protected at any cost. Any cost, Jews will be protected. You can't have a situation where Jewish students can't go to school. You can't have a situation where Jews are persecuted in America. That is not what the American dream is about, because it will start with Jews, it will come to Hindus, it will come to every minority. Sir.
Sumitji, I think we can now turn over to go to questions. But before we go to questions, two things, viewers. The like count is still less than what I would like to see. The likes have to be actually more than the number of people watching. That would really help us. Also, do you know, many of you are parents who are watching this program and you want to send your children to the best university in the world, Harvard. You know what happened? Harvard University professors cancelled classes for 2 successive days. You know why? To allow the students to recover from the election verdict. And look, you are putting your blood to put your child through Harvard, thinking that that child will have a better future. You don't want to send them to a slaughterhouse. Just imagine what they are going to come out afterwards. First of all, they'll have this, kirit, thinking that I am Harvard. Then second thing they'll say is, Mom and Dad, you don't know anything. People are getting killed in Gaza. Completely forgetting that October 7, 2023 was the first, that is the instigator of this. You are going to have children who are going to be brilliant, except all twisted. So think carefully where you are going to send your child to college. Do your homework. Don't let them come and tell you, okay, I want to go to this university. Paise do. You say, I will decide which university you are going to go to because I am paying the money. Put your foot down. Jitna bhi aap, your children are dear to you. I don't deny that. But think a little long and hard before you decide what kind of a school your child should go to. And this applies to inside India also. Anyway, correct. I just wanted to give this 2 cents. Let's go to questions now, Sumitji. If you want to add something for a minute, go ahead. Yeah.
One line. I have heard that after Trump's victory, there are a lot of single women in United States, liberal women, who are getting their heads shaved. I told them, you come to Tirupati, at least you will get some punya karma for it. Why are you doing it there? I mean, what kind of a drama is happening in the society? I am amazed at the network. And in my conversation with the gentleman, I brought up this concept of red jihad. And the gentleman was very, very clear. He said, look, the number one threat to America is China, and the number two threat to America and the West is Iran. Iran has weaponized Islam. They have built proxies which are capable of bringing death and destruction of unproportional, levels. So, and I asked him, is Russia still your enemy? He said, no, it's not. So I don't know where the priorities have gone. Even did Brakat Hussian Obama tell you who your enemy was? I mean, it looks to me that it was some kind of a spell which he was casting on Biden. And when I look at these things, why this message, last question, why this message of plan of assassination of Donald J. Trump was not put in the public till the time Trump won the election? Can somebody answer this?
Thank you, Sumit PG. Look, one of the things that he has vowed that he will act on, and I have given viewers a 10-point agenda that Trump is going to adopt to counter and finish off the deep state. Do take a look at that. Like I said, we are doing a lot of work now up front because the man is on a mission. He gets up in the morning and he's firing. I'm going to do this. The reason, this is a different strategy than what most people do. They do the big things quietly and let the thing completely take root before they start making announcements. Trump is a slightly different believer, and also it's a different country. In India, you have to do things in one way. In US, you have to do things in a different way, because 2 years will just like that go. Today, he has the majority in House, Senate, and he is in the White House. This is when major reform can come in. So that is the reason why all this is happening. Let's take some questions now, please. Hemant wants to know, people keep talking Gaza. What about October 7th killing? Some hostages are still there. No one's talking about them. This is typical deep state publicity exercise or excellence. I don't know.
Hemant Bhai, Donald Trump has said all the hostages must return home before I resume office, else you will pay a heavy price for it. He's talked about it. Clear. Ek do line mein will end. What also Trump said, I am not interested in a so-called regime change in Iran. Let people of Iran decide what do they want. I want to set everything right, because what does the deep state and Obama and these Democrats want? They say, okay, let's change the regime, things will change. No, let me set the drawing board right. Regime banti rahegi.
Next one, please. Mangat Ranga wants to know, Namaskar, do you feel Trump and Modi ji could form a team for an effective world conflict management? They vibe well and Modi ji is an accepted world leader.
This is a good idea, sir, but today the world needs a lot of action. When you do a lot of action, you are not going to appease everybody. You are not going to be in everybody's good books. And if this is the cost and the price we are ready to pay, then why not? And I was reading somewhere today, I think some Muslim body in India has sent some 10 list demands to the India Alliance, wherein they are literally asking for whole of Bharat. And I think you and me should start, we should tell us where is the bank account to pay jizya. Let's start paying jizya in EMIs, or put a credit card there so that every month we can pay jizya. So, today the nature of the world is action. Words are not selling.
Next one, please. Vijay Kumar Srivastava wants to know, do you think IRGC and a few Democrats had planned before election to assassinate Trump? Namaskar.
It is quite possible, sir, because what I'm coming to know, on 7th October 20, he says on 7th October 2024, I was told to assassinate Trump within 1 week. I'm assuming he's telling the truth. I'm today on November, 1 month after that. Why do I know it today? Correct? I mean, at the end of the day, Trump is a president nominee. He's a very tall man in the world order. He has already 2 or 3 attacks on him, and why are we knowing it today? It's like, when the guy with the AR-72 took the shots, then the state services fire said, why not before? There are questions which should be asked.
Nitya Kalyani wants to know, is it true that Trump ji is to ban transgender surgeries for minors in all 50 states in America? Has he asked to shut down all TG institutions? It's on his agenda. That much I can tell you.
And I think even that sex change of kids, wherein you don't need to take the...
Yeah.
I mean, that was atrocious, sir.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Next one, please. Kesar wants to know, France wants India's Pinaka. Is France preparing for end of NATO?
I don't think so, but Macron is today kind of, with his leftists supporting him, Macron has become a bit unpredictable. So what
Yeah.
Macron is to, I really don't know, because it is the political compulsions he has. It's for Macron to decide, does he want to be Trudeau or does he want to remain as Macron? I prefer he remains as Macron.
Next one, please. Somnath Sinha wants to know, if Canada stops visa, then where can we export our K garbage? Somnath ji, the K garbage is already going through illegal route. They're already going.
They don't need
Somnath ji, look at a map of the world. Look at the size of Canada. You can easily get lost there. It's a huge country, and the border with US, right? It is not completely fenced or anything. In fact, there was a family of three, a Sikh husband, wife, and child. They all froze to death because they were trying to cross at a place where it was completely snowed in, and they got stuck in that and they could not extricate themselves out. It's horrible the way these things are happening right now. And somebody wants to still go and stay there. I don't know for what. And the Canadian government is going to change. The Conservatives are going to come back, although I don't know if they will be quite as decisive in their mindset as Trump is in the United States. US is changing. There is no doubt about it. 100%. Go ahead.
US is changing, sir. And if you look at the other Canadian party, they look to be old wine in your bottle. So that's my take on it.
Next one, please. Vishnu Gopi wants to know, Sumit sir, do you see the Pakistani army shrinking in size as soldiers are dying, as well as Baloch and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa will not send people to Pakistan army for recruitment?
I don't see Pakistan army shrinking, because if a country can have 500,000 jihadis, you can anyway have people who can join the army. The size of army will not shrink. Yes, the morale will break. It will be difficult for them to operate, and there will be a time when the army will say it's enough is enough. I'm waiting for the day when these Pathans will come out with the guns. They all have guns. They have to hit with their guns the street. That day the hell will really break loose. Next question.
Thank you, Natu Sunstar, for your donation, super sticker. Thank you, Peter Ramkishan, for your super sticker. Anant Narayanan Venkateshan wants to know, Sree sir and Sumit ji, namaskar. The most terrible thing is that American mind is a completely smoked and toasted. How will they be able to set the house in order? Anant Narayanan Venkateshan ji, this is just a few on the fringe who are all this twisted mindset. Not everybody is changed. America has some of the strongest family values.
I think one of the things which President Trump said, where we need a strong army, he also said we need a very strong family. He brought in the word, we need very strong families. And you know why Indians are unfortunately targeted everywhere in the world is because of the family values we have, because of less than 1% divorce rate we have. Even at India, Hindus have 0.1 or whatever. And when I look at American overall divorce rate, 43, Russia is 45, and Portugal is 93. So, only strong families can have strong products. If I try to do an analogy here, if you can't support your children, if you can't give them time to breathe and come up, you can't expect them to do wonders. So that is why Hindus are unfortunately hated across the whole world, because we know how to bring up our next generation.
Next one, please. Soham Parida wants to know, do you think NaMo government is lost the edge now and become soft not only in JK but to Pakistan also? Government is silent after Balakot. Is NaMo aiming for the Nobel Prize?
I don't think this is all about Nobel Prize and all. You have to look at geopolitical conditions. You have to look at political conditions. And, I will tell you one thing, my brother. Look at a big aircraft carrier. Look at a video from Google or YouTube somewhere. See how much time it takes for it to take a turn. It takes an hour or two to take a turn. So when you are running on a path, and for a big countries to align or realign, it usually takes time. It's not easy. And there are a lot of frictions and fractions which are known. There are frictions and fractions which are not known. But having said that, again, I have been stretching my neck out and saying, is the time for action. It is not the time for communication, because, at the end of the day, How many more toilets and how many more roads and airports can you build? I mean, there's a limit to it. How many? We have 70 or 150 airports, I believe, when we can go in there. America has 4,000 airports. So if airports and roads and GDP was a insurance to all the problems, Americans have 1/4 the population. They have 7-8 times the GDP. They have 10 times more infrastructure. Is America a vacuum on planet Earth? No, it is not. So ultimately, again, the Americans are going back to the drawing board. Basics, nationalism, security, internal security, trade independence. These are the basics. Development cannot be the Ramban which can cure everything. Your enemies don't give a shit to it. They are going to come after you whatever way you are. I mean, the Reds, the Islamists, the Jihadists, they are going to come after you. And let's face it, this is the reality of the world.
Viewers, there was an alternate economy that was in place. People just got gobs of money handed to them. That's what I wrote in my book, Who Painted My Money White? I mean, demonetization was done primarily because a new big stash of 500 and 1,000 rupee notes, completely undistinguishable from the original, was going to enter India. In fact, it had come to Kalkaji. Kalkaji, jante hain na aap kahan hai?
Delhi,
it's a suburb of Delhi. Probably now it's main Delhi. So this is known, and we shouldn't keep thinking that oh, why this, why that, and shouldn't think, especially when it comes to voting, use your head, don't use your heart. Somebody will always say something. Look at what Sharad Pawar has tried to do. He has sowed poison in the minds of Marathas, saying that Brahmins are the cause of all the problem. The idiot forgets that it was Brahmins and the Marathas together who created the Maratha Empire.
Sir, you have nailed it today. Vote from your head, not from your heart. If people just remember one sentence, एक sentence, vote from your head, not from your heart, then the world will change. And let me tell you, your enemies and our enemies are merciless. They are relentless. They have no mercy. They are there to dismantle you. And if you are not Jagrup, if you are not aware, they will not spare you. They will not spare anybody. And I'll be very candid here. Development is not the Ramban. If it was only about economical prosperity and development, America should be heaven on earth, which it is not. I've been talking about why. And second thing, I am very clear on one thing. In this world, Muslims are doing what they want to do. Let it be Shias, let it be Sunnis. Sunnis, these Pakistani Shias, Iran, they do what they're doing. They're known for that. Christians are doing what they want to do. Russians, Americans, right? Even these Buddhists are doing what they want to do. Like, for example, Chinese is Buddhist dominated. Jews are doing what they want to do. Israel, again, they have their set of beliefs, they go by it. Why do we only Hindus need to be seen holier than thou and the most secular and the most impeccable, clean and equal and just to all? Why are we in this self-obsession? We have to walk with the time. We have to think what is in the interest of Bharat, Hindu and Hindustan and go by that. Nobody is interested in your image, but people are interested in your karma. Karma sells, prevails. Image is a state of mind. That is my limited take on it.
Next one, please.
I think we didn't answer this question. Can you shed light on the activities of Brakat Hussian Obama? What do you think is powerful? Look, Brakat is powerful because he's king of Al-Taqiyya. I'm not sure even I think he might not even be a practicing Christian, but she claims he is. And he has this, his father was a Muslim. He was brought in the Muslim mentality and all. And when you have this Muslim mentality, there's an X amount of traits which come into you. And he was the only person who clearly had one plan in mind. He said, look, Islamic terror cannot bring down the United States of America. So you have to create an ecosystem wherein jihadis are funded by the Reds, and that can cause the havoc to the democracies, to all liberal thoughts and ways. That is what Brakat did. And he exactly managed to do it. He managed to sneak in. He managed and destroyed. Look at the numbers of China before Brakat and after Brakat. If China has become the Frankenstein of the world, the courtesy goes to Brakat Hussian Obama. He did it under his tenure. When Iran was starving with 4 trillion, who lifted their ban? Who gave them all the money in the world? How do we have $88 trillion? And Trump is already talking of cutting their oil today, which is very good. And who gave them all the money? Who tried to do a deal with these Iran? And I was talking to an American friend yesterday. He said it is like putting a lipstick on a pig. That was how the agreement was. This was BS. Iran is not going to change. Iran is going to do what they have to do. Or what you have this agreement, a piece of paper, and you're happy with it. I mean, what the hell, yaar? You know what you are doing. You know exactly what you are doing. Possibly he wanted to have a revenge with the society that you didn't treat my father well, my father didn't get those opportunities and all. It's like Osama bin Laden thought he can bring down America. He could not, but he thought he can bring down America by bringing down two towers. He thought that. He went for that. Nothing happened, but he could bring down WTC. And let's not forget, it only took 18 jihadists who were very well educated from very good families to do 9/11. Never forget that.
Next one, please. Akhil wants to know, sir, 𝗤𝙑𝙤 𝗲𝘅 poster was placed in Indore, Madhya Pradesh. Is religious fanaticism increasing?
Religious fanaticism is not increasing. Hindu 𝗤𝙑𝙤 is increasing. And when the Hindu 𝗤𝙑𝙤 is increasing, the other side's technique of 𝗓𝗪𝗃𝗃, which is just lying from 32 teeth, making you believe that we are your friends and buddies and all, acting more Hindu than the Hindu, putting the tribunda on the matha, doing all this drama. So when these all things are not working and they're getting exposed, now the dirt has to come out. You know what happens if, let's say, this shirt, it doesn't look dirty, huh? Does it look dirty? No. Put it in a washing machine and watch the water going out. It will be full of dirt. So when the 𝗓𝗪𝗃𝗃 is getting washed out, the dirtiness or the dirt is coming out. Because otherwise, that 𝗓𝗪𝗃𝗃 was the cover. Oh, I'm your brother, I'm your friend, we're the best buddies, Hindu Muslim bhai. Islam does not believe in coexistence. No, it does not believe. Look at some of the Pakistanis. They are clearly saying we can't coexist with anybody. It is, it's very simple. We are less. We'll do this 𝗓𝗪𝗃𝗃. We are 50. We'll ask division. 51. We'll ask for Sharia. So whichever way it has is a constant expansion mode. That is what every Muslim is supposed to do. And in Islamic world, what I rightly said and what a lot of people now agree, all the treaties are toilet paper. They will abide by them till the time it suits their interest. The day it doesn't suit their interest, gone. Koi treaty nahi hoti.
Next question, please. The parents in India are more concerned with degree emblem rather than knowledge from their study, CSK says. To a certain extent, I agree, but I worry for the second, third tier, fourth tier cities, parents who are thinking that my son or daughter should also get a degree from abroad. That degree from abroad is kind of coming ahead of what quality of education your child is going to get. So your decision just became harder. It's all we can tell you, which is why Sumitji was having, he continues to have his consultancy. You can talk to him. I mean, there are a lot of ways in which you need to look at what is going on in the United States. There are many good schools in India also. Give it some time. You'll find very good schools come in India too. So these are all changing very, very fast.
The problem is, Dhankar-ji recently told us one very important sentence. He said, it has become a disease for affluent to get their children educated out of India. I mean, it's a fad. It's a fad. मतलब fad है बस. Any फिरंग कुछ भी चलेगा. Imported. Degree imported चाहिए. यहाँ की नहीं चलेगी. But is it worth the shot? That is a call you have to take.
Next one, Muthukumaran Sundaram wants to know, Sumitji, today I'm not asking question, but I'm eager to know about safeguard measures Bharat is taking for internal security. Is it adequate or not?
I can only tell you, sir, this country needs a separate minister and ministry of a cabinet rank for internal security. This country needs to allocate $40 billion of budget for that. This country needs a Patriot Act. This country needs those special task forces which can protect it from any kind of these threats. We don't have any of it right now, but whatever we can do with the best system today, we are trying to manage it. But there's a system which is any day is adequate. When you talk of suraksha or defense is not only external defense. Defense is also internal defense. Look, if I have an apartment, when an earthquake happens, how do I know that only the external walls will have cracks, internal walls will not have cracks, right? So we are still believing that defense is outside, not the internal. Internal is a challenge. And as long as we don't have that in place, I don't think we are adequately protected, sir. I will be very candid. And I've been talking this on YouTube and national TV without mincing a word. On national prime time, I talk this about mincing a word. And I hope somebody realizes this. It is not about person and personalities. It's what the nation and the country needs. We need a separate ministry for this. And I need somebody. Ideally, if you ask me, who will be the internal security minister? If I have the choice, Yogi Adityanath. Minimum. Or koi nahi. With $40 billion of budget.
Next one, please. Maya Rao wants to know what happens to the Epstein list and Sean Combs when when Trump comes to power?
Mayaji, you only know about one list and one island. There'll be many more of them. This is $100 billion trade, and there are a lot of. And let me tell you, this is a thankless, ruthless world, because we people live in our silos and we are only bothered about our family and things. The moment, what I hate, which really boils my brains, when people say, oh, let's not talk political, let's not get politics into it. If you don't talk political, if you don't understand political, if you don't want to know political, the politics will ruin you, they will muscle you, and they will discard you. The day you start thinking politics, breathing politics, talking politics, understanding politics, that is your only insurance again not becoming a political tools and becoming disposable. I don't want to use the word, becoming disposable, whatever, after that. So this new thing which has become, oh, let's not talk politics, no political comments, no this thing. What the hell? What the hell? When politics is not going to eat you if you understand it. Today, one of my friends was telling me 90% of the Americans don't understand the problem America is facing. They have no idea. Even if you tell them where is Iran, they will not know. They will have no idea who's Khamenei. Pata nahi hai kuch Khamenei kaun. But he's a man there who is trying every day to kill you, kill your children, and dismantle your society. And you're saying, oh, let's not talk politics. Let's talk about those, rock bands, those jazz bands, and let's talk about those chicks and the Vegas and all that. Sorry, I'm using a bit of American slang. But you want to live in the fool's paradise? Be. But is Khomeini going to change? No, he's not going to change.
Next one, please. Raj Salgam wants to know, CIRG, it's wrong advice. Kids can choose and learn from their mistakes, including political. If you say I pay and I decide, you will pay for it when old and senile. Raj Salgam ji, I beg to differ. Maybe we can agree to disagree. See, what happens is children choose a college or a university or a country sometimes, or actually many times, based on what their other peers are doing. Some may be well off, some may be able to get whatever university they want, but there are others who are trying to look up to them and say, if he can go, I also want to go there. But all I'm saying is, see, if you want to put top dollars and then still want to send your child to Harvard and Yale, it's your choice. But at least make it like, okay, I decided that this is the right thing to do for my child. If you think that the children have to be given that kind of liberty, just imagine what is the average cost of tuition today. We're looking to $65,000 to $75,000 a year, 4 years minimum, $300,000. You multiply that by 100 loosely to get it in rupees. Look at how much money you are spending. You wanted to say something, Sumit ji?
Sir, I was saying at the expenses, Ana Jana, Rehna Khana, become around $500,000, plus minus there. $500,000 is how much? Is a lot of money. I mean, is it worth the shot? That's the question. And let me tell you, sir, today kids come under peer pressure. I might have a son. I'm his father. I'm not a rich man. There might be somebody who's his buddy and his father is a multimillionaire. They can have this amount of money to burn. And beta jao, dekh lo yaar. Enjoy. But if my son decides to, just because he's going, I also need to go there, and I need to kind of, mortgage my house to send him there, that is not the right way. But for other chap, he can afford that kind of money. He can afford that kind of a luxury. Even the money conks up, it doesn't matter. But what if my money conks up, I'm on the road? That is exactly what Sree sir is trying to make. It's all relative. And let me tell you, and I think all of them, these all are private universities. None of them are, those IITs of India. They are all private universities. And these people have huge budgets, and they put a lot of money in marketing and brand building and image building and all. And I have a lot of remorse in admitting this. Qataris, who have nothing to do with education and nothing to do with every civic or human liberties, have put $2 billion in Cornell. To do what? I mean, it's like gold, it's like a locks iron smith investing in that fine wine business or in fine gold business. What is Qatar's business in Cornell? $2 billion to do what? What is the literacy rate of Qatar? How much do Qataris study? They are known for funding all the terrorist organizations in the world. Period. Koi bhi ho, every organization is funded by them. And what is their interest in Cornell? Now, I can't say more. And I'm a Cornell alumni, that's why I'm saying.
Thank you, Ganesh Jay, for your sticker. Karthik wants to know. Thank you, Karthik ji. Sree Garu, I am from Vancouver, Canada. If I ever visit California, I'd love to meet you. So happy to see someone from Indo-US in California speaking for Hindus and India. Felt bad when Abhijit spoke harshly to you. Karthik ji, it's all right. It's all a day's work. That's all. My commitment is to my viewers. You are my heart and soul. I want to make sure that I do the best that I possibly can, and so is Sumit ji, so is every guest that comes on PGurus, to give you the truth. The truth hurts sometimes. The truth can be bitter sometimes. But that is our goal, is to tell you the truth. And also, how many times have I told all of you, you make your own call. This is what we think is happening. Sometimes I've given opposite viewpoint people to come and talk about the same topic, where one is 180 degrees opposite to the other one. See, the point is to try and develop that original thinking, that you want to be able to have your own way to understand anything you look at it. Organize your thought so that you know whether this is right or wrong. This innate wisdom used to be there when we used to grow up in India. Like you will go with your grandfather. The grandfather will bargain for price with one vendor, but he will not ask any questions with another vendor. And then slowly you start understanding why, because the grandfather knows the vendor who is realistic pricing. These are all little stories that you pick up, because we were having the joint family model. Today it's not there. So there is a big culture that we're all missing as children growing up, and that is difficult to make up that part. That's all I'm trying to say. Next one.
I want to add one line here. I have been working with Mr. Iyer for quite some time now, and I think one thing I can tell you about this gentleman is, when it comes to India, when it comes to Sanatan Dharma, when it comes to Bharat, he is always there. And when I even want to bring up some controversial things, I want to bring up some things which are not very political correct, he has never told me, no, don't bring this up, this is not good, it's not good for channel. But Mr. Iyer, sach hai, let's do it. That is what I appreciate this gentleman for. And जो आपको अंदर दिखते हैं वही बाहर है, कुछ अंदर बाहर नहीं है. Is exactly what you see out, that is what is in. And he is not, I can tell you another thing, he is not doing this for money. Take it in writing from me.
Next one, please. Shashikant Reddy, बहुत धन्यवाद आपको. Shashikant ji, you wrote something in Telugu and sent it. I read it, but I could not understand it. So maybe next time you can go back and read it and make it a little bit simpler. It was in very chaste Telugu that I couldn't capture. So sorry about that. Sir, इसके साथ हमारा आज का कार्यक्रम, I'm sorry, why am I talking in Hindi? A little confused here. So with this, our program ends for today. Please come back in an hour's time as we talk with 𝗤𝗂𝗧 Iyer about India's politics. Maharashtra elections is still front and center. A lot of other things also happening. And tomorrow morning at 8 a.m., Sridhar Chityala is going to be talking about Trump in US's America under Trump. We're going to have a 5-point discussion, very focused on the 5 things that he's going to really hone in. You'll get more details than anywhere else in the world, and that I can guarantee you. So that is at 8 o'clock, and with Sumit ji we are going to have at 10 a.m. I don't know, maybe our favorite topic. We don't know. We might do the same thing. Thank you so much, Sumit ji. Namaskar.
And to all my friends and brothers and sisters, namaskar. Thank you very much. Please don't mind what we say. We are saying out of love and respect for all of you. At times the truth might sound a bit bitter, but our job is to put the things for you to consider only. We are not advocating or supporting or anything. We're nobody to give you sermons, but we are putting the perspective so that you can weigh in them. You can weigh in, your call. On that note, we will hope you like, share and subscribe the video. Bharat Mata ki jai, Vande Mataram, and Har Har Mahadev.
Bye.